Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Richie Grant. Coach, really good weekend for you. You got a couple of wins, which is always good, able to edge out some very close games. I know that was going to be the key to this year. It's really the key to any year is to win the close ones, and you get a 1-0 win, then a 2-1 win on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you, first of all. I mean, it was a very good weekend result-wise. We were concerned on the back of the California trip just how, it's kind of tiring to go out there, so it was important to have home games the following week. So I think scheduling-wise it was great for us to be able to get back to Mike Rose. Very tough game against UMKC on Friday night. But I thought we were unfortunate to go in at half-time 0-0. I mean, we were really on the front foot. I think we had 7 or 8 very good goal-scoring chances, and Mark had 12 of them. So he was unlucky, hit the post, and it just I thought that goalie had a very good game. And then it took a Jordan Klippish goal in the second half off a very good corner. I thought his position was excellent, and he was determined to finish it off. So that really gave us, and we closed the game out very well on Friday. I thought, we were well worth the 1-0 win, but it's still risky, it's hairy, and you have to, in the last 5 minutes, you got to find a way to close the match, but the boys were comfortable with that.
Well, you had a thriller on Sunday. That was a game where it's probably for you and everyone else 85 minutes of just pure frustration, but then 5 minutes of elation at the end because you got your 2 goals in that match under 5 minutes to go. You had outshot them by a huge margin. Kind of dictated the pace of the game. In that match, you had hit the post, like you said. You had put one right over the crossbar. Their keeper was really good, made some really nice saves. And one of those games where you thought, well, we might outplay them on paper, but they scored that goal about the 65th minute. And then you found one loose on a header, and then one loose in front of the net, able to put it in and win that match.
We were very pleased with the outcome of the game, but very disappointed with our attitude in the first half. I think if you go back and look at the statistics, we had 1 corner in the first half and maybe 1 or 2 shots, and completely dominated the second half. We came out of the dressing room a very different team. So I was disappointed in the first half that we didn't put them on the back foot. We didn't push them for that goal. To have possession was one thing, but we really didn't have it in the right part of the field, and we were wasteful with the ball. We looked lethargic. And the second half, we were a different team. The way we came out, we were getting around, getting crosses, getting opportunities, getting corners, and constantly pinning them in. That's why you noticed our goalkeeper more in the second half, because he had more to do. And then our sport is crazy. I mean, they literally came down the field, had 1 shot on target, and it was a goal. And it's a good goal from their perspective. And I think it was 80 minutes in.
Right, it was late.
It was late, and we had to make an adjustment at the back and sacrifice a defender to get a little bit more going forward. But I thought the boys didn't panic, and we kept drafting the chances. And Hunter was an excellent substitution. So also recommended him on the side and felt that he could really get at them. He's a nippy type player, and he's been very good in camp and has an eye for goal. And he certainly proved that in this game.
That last goal, I know it must have looked like it was going in slow motion. It got their keeper actually deflected it, sat in front of the net. You got a couple of feet on it, then finally took that very slow roll and made it over the line.
Slow, it was in the air, I think, and they were trying to defend it. And fair play to Hunter, he stood in the right position, and it was good delivery on the corner. It kept it alive. I mean, he practices that a lot. So a young lad in the right place at the right time, and at that stage, we'd certainly take the 2-1.
Well, let's take a look at the weekend, too. Hunter, Jordan, Spencer Muller all named to the Memphis Central Arkansas Classic All-Tournament team. That's a thing you've got going now with UCA, because you guys kind of share. It's almost like a travel partner or a home partner if you were in the same conference.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, and I think next year we're bringing in a team from California. So it allows 2 of us to recruit in opponents, and we're not too far away from each other. So it was good working with them, and it was 2 good games for both programs. And I mean, what you said about the young boys, they're all true freshmen. We had a lot of freshmen play over the weekend, and I thought they all did very well. They did well in California as well, so very promising for the program moving forward. But I thought it was very appropriate that 3 of them were acknowledged by the league.
Well, not only awards just for the all-tournament team, Jordan ends up the American Rookie of the Week.
Yeah, and not a surprise. I mean, he stepped in for Chandler at left fullback. He was excellent in his defending in both games. We just took him out on Sunday because he had played major minutes over the weekend. He got an emotional goal on Friday, but a great start to his career. He's a tough lad, and he's a very diligent worker on his game. So I think he's one for the future with us.
3-1 through your first 4 games before you go down to Birmingham next week, and the team's got to be feeling good because the 3 wins are close wins. And we've talked before. We talked last year, talked this year. Really, success of anyone's season in anyone's sport will be the 1-goal games, the 1-run games, the 3-point football games. How can you win the close games?
Yeah, and I mean, that's why we gave our boys such a tough preseason in terms of playing St. Louis and Tulsa, who are both top 25 now, and while we played very well in those games, and the emphasis was never on the result in those games,
right.
It was always on the performance, and that stood to us now because we told the lads coming out of camp we're not going to be 1 or 2-0 down in every game. We're going to be in the opposite situation. But it actually stood very well for us because to find ourselves down 1-0 against Oral Roberts, I thought we showed great character. And if you look back in our preseason games, we were very strong at the end of both of those games. We came back in both games, got goals late in the game. We had a penalty kick against St. Louis. So there's a fighting spirit to keep going till the end. And I thought on Sunday that really helped us because we came from a goal behind, we didn't panic, and found a way to get 2, which is quite difficult so quickly. And then just the quality of opponent in camp has prepared us well for the type of opposition that we're seeing now. It's not frightening for us because we've been in some tough situations.
Talk about this weekend, going down to the UAB tournament. You play there on a regular basis, East Tennessee Friday, and then you'll have Charlotte on Sunday. Yeah,
I mean, it gets really tough again. And going back on the road, I mean, 4 of our first 6 are away from Memphis. ETSU, we've never played them before. We know the coaches personally. They do an unbelievable job with their program. They've had a super win against Kentucky. They've gone and played South Carolina. They played Winthrop last night to a 0-0 draw. So they're we compete with each other recruiting. They're doing a great job with their program, and it'll be nice to play them for the first time. And then Sunday, Charlotte, who are a traditional top 20 team at the moment, and so 2 really good tests before we get into league play.
Coach, congratulations on the weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
That is Richie Grant, and I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.